Alright, where are we going?
I'm going skydiving.
Nice, man. Are you ready to go do this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright, let's go skydiving.
Alright.
Nice. Nice skydive. Something you do again, Jason?
Shoot, yeah, heart 3.
Hop on up there.
Man, that was cool.
Give me a few choice words.
Man, that's unbelievable.
Oh, there it is, right there. Right there.
A little more than a year ago, Jason Koger and his wife Jenny were busy with a toddler and a newborn who had just started sleeping through the night. Then in March 2008, Jason was electrocuted by a downed power line. An ambulance rushed him to Owensboro Medical Health System. Then he was airlifted to Vanderbilt in Nashville.
You know, I know I still got a family. I could have died that day. You know, I mean, it could have been a whole lot worse than what it is. And sometimes, you know, you just got to sit back and you got to think, I can get through it, you know, one way or another.
After 12 days and more than 6 surgeries, Jason returned home with no hands. The couple says nothing was the same.
I mean, I had to learn how to dress myself, everything, you know, that a baby would have to learn. I had to learn everything myself.
I think the first time we tried to go anywhere, it took me 4 hours just to get everybody ready. You know, I have to give everybody a bath. I had everybody dressed. I had to feed them. You know, I had to feed everybody. It was just that, you know, no spontaneity, let's get up and go.
She always wants to help me.
As time went on, Jason became more accustomed to his prosthetics, with some help from fellow bilateral amputees.
They actually taught me what it took them 16 years to do in 1 week. So, you know, that might have been why I've succeeded so much, because I've listened to other people. I've been in contact with people like me.
But now it's Jason who will be learning things few other amputees know, how to use what are called touch bionic eye limbs.
On the inside of them, the sensors, there's 2 sensors on each side. That's what controls opening and closing of the hand.
Jason is one of only 3 people in the world to have 2 of these limbs. They're made in Scotland, and together they cost $100,000. Jason says it's because of his 2 little girls that insurance is paying.
They got sensors in the hands, and it will not let you allow to press, you know, put a lot of pressure on my kids, especially. So, because I don't have any feeling with them. So, when I grab somebody, I can squeeze as hard as I want, and it won't hurt.
Jason challenges himself every day, writing his name with each hand and playing and winning Jenga. But he says he's still got some learning to do.
You know, the other day I tried to drink Coke with it, and I was holding the Coke, and I went to take it up to my mouth, and I put it in rotate position, and I spilled Coke all over me. But, you know, stuff like that's going to happen.
Jason and Jenny say they know Jason could have died that day, and without family, friends, and the community, they may have fallen apart.
Let me hold you.
Now, a year later, Jason's achieved so much. Most importantly, holding his daughter's hands with his own once again.
See, I can grab her as hard as I can, and it doesn't hurt her.
In Davis County, Sarah Lovett, Fox 7 News.
March 1st, 2008, I was in an electrical accident where I lost both my arms. I was below my elbow. I was life flown to Nashville where they were amputated. My biggest fear was not being able to hold my kids. How am I going to be able to do this? How am I going to be able to hold them? How am I going to be able to be their dad?
Jason shared his concerns with Superior staff about getting back to being dad. He was thrilled with Superior's option, the state-of-the-art prosthetic, the iLimb.
And the first time I put it on and I moved it, it was like, wow, you know, I have my hands back. I can drive now. I took my little girls to pick blueberries down the road from our house. I was able to pick blueberries without squashing them and eating them.
But the most important accomplishment for Jason, getting back to being dad.
A lot of people, I don't think, they sit back and they don't think it's that important, but to be able to look down and my little girl say, "Daddy, hold my hand," you know, that means more to me than anything in the world, you know, just to put my arm down, to open it up, to grab hers, and she loves it.
Did she? I don't know. Here we go. Ready?
Got her spray. I don't think it is.
I know you didn't pick that up.
On March 1st, 2008, I was involved in an accident where I got electrocuted. Actually, Jenny, you know, had met me in the field where it happened at. I didn't think it was that serious. You know, I knew I was hurt, but I didn't think it was that serious.
And I was in the house, and all that someone called and said was, "Jason's been hit." I had no clue what was going on, so I knew he was back on the farm somewhere, so I ran outside, finally found him. And
I was life flighted to Vanderbilt, Nashville. Whenever I got to Vanderbilt, they put me in a coma state for 3 days, still not knowing, you know, what my life or how my life was fixing to change.
I hear a doctor run out, and he doesn't really know that we're out there, or right there, I think, and he's yelling to a nurse, and he says, "This kid could lose his hands." And all of a sudden, I was like, what did she say? These things don't happen. This can't be real. So immediately, you know, my sister found me, his mom, his dad, everybody found me, and we were talking, and, you know, me and my sister got down and we started praying, and I was just like, you know, I put this in your hands, God, just your will be done. Whatever we need to do, just get us there, help us, you know, give us the strength to get through this. We got to Nashville, and the ride down there, you know, I was just, all kinds of thoughts were racing through my head, and I was just like, you know, I just want him to be able to hold the girls. I want the girls. I want that for him. And we get there, and the doctor comes in, and he looks at me, and he says, "Look, there's toxins released in your husband's body, and if I go in there and I don't have your permission to cut off his hands, he's gonna die." Those were the words he said to me. I know I'm gonna have to cut off one. I could have to cut off two. I need your permission. Or the alternative is he could die. The thought didn't cross my mind is, do I sign or not? I sign. Jason alive, without hands, or Jason not here, that's, you know, not an option in your choices. So I signed the paper, I got to go see him, and 6-8 hours later, you know, they came out and said, he doesn't, you know, we had to cut off both his hands. And oh, I fell to my knees, and I felt like my heart stopped beating, and, you know, I knew then that my whole entire life was going to change, but it wasn't for me it wasn't my part of the life that was going to change. That really bothered me. It was my girls, and, you know, him not being able to do things with the girls and everything.
After 3 days of being in the hospital, I woke up the third day, and I asked the nurse if I could see my dad.
when my dad walked in, you know, he looked at me and I said, how bad is it? And he said, well, Jason, he said, we'll get through it. He said, but you lost both your arms. I knew at that minute, you know, that God gave me the opportunity to keep my life. And, you know, that was meant more to me than anything, because my 2 little girls and my wife, you know, and I knew that I needed to be here for them. I needed to be able to support them, and that other things, you know, with me not having my hands, I'd get through that one way or another, you know. I figured that God gave me the strength, He'll give me the strength to keep going.
You know, I just got this soft peace just came over me that, you know, whatever this road takes us, however we get from one point to another, God's gonna get us through it. And He did, and He has over and over. Every day He reminds me, you know, my husband can hold my girls, you know, He can pick them up, you know.
I know one day it wasn't too